All right. So, Dave, last week
we were off.
You want to? Yeah. I got my COVID shot.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that was possibly happening.
Yeah, it was my second one. Thank God I took 2 days off last week.
I told you, didn't I tell you?
Oh, my God. I was for about 5 hours, I was in my deathbed.
Yeah.
The chills, the whole night.
Not fun.
No. Nope.
But now you're impervious. Now we can just cough all over you.
Yeah. Just don't spit on me or cough on me.
Right, exactly. Now we can just get...
Or touch me.
Okay, no problem.
But yeah, so that happened. I started a new job.
Whereabouts?
I can't say, but what I can say is that I rolled the dice and I feel like I got lucky.
Yeah, very lucky.
Very lucky. I got a great job that I actually started today. Is it someplace along the river? Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's right along the not rivers, but just one river.
No, the river. River. You know.
So yeah, I day one, awesome. Super excited about that. What else?
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah. What other big news we got going on?
That was Easter. That's it.
Yeah. What'd you do for Easter?
I went to my sister's house, which is actually formerly my parents' house. So it was like our first big holiday since my sister moved in. There was 19 people there.
Jeez.
Is that just under the gathering total?
I don't know
either. There was a few people there.
I have a shot. I don't pay attention to that stuff no more.
Right, now you don't care.
Yeah.
You're like whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, invincible.
Spit in my mouth.
Right. Nope. We'll find.
Gross.
Maybe Jess will volunteer.
All right, where are we, man?
What
city are we in? Would you say it's the Collar City?
The Collar City, yeah. You don't hear that, right? Yeah. The Collar City. Why is that?
It's because I used to make collars here. You ever watch those like those old Bugs Bunny cartoons and like the collar would pop in spring?
Yes. They
would make those collars here.
So they make the collar separate from the shirt?
Yeah.
Wow.
I could be wrong. I have no idea.
Oh, you just made that up? Most viewers would probably buy it. That was good because you used the cartoon thing.
I'm getting a nod that
you gave us a visual. A visual, right, which many of us need. Right, yeah.
I wish I had a sound effect for it.
You can try another one and see what happens.
All right, let's see.
There you go. Perfect. That's exactly what you needed.
There we go. All right, so we're in the Collar City at a brand new bar that's not even open yet.
We're lucky, right? We get a preview.
That's
Can
true.
we say what place it is? Or do we have to keep quiet as a secret?
You go ahead and lift up that curtain.
I don't know where it is.
It's the Troy Beer Garden.
Formerly
Wolf's Beer Garden.
Yes, that's how most people would probably be
And
able
this
to
does
find
not look the same.
I was not in the other one, so I can't say.
I feel like it's like a jungle, lush jungle.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, like in terms of plants. I walked in, I was like, am I in the right place? Is this a nursery or?
There's a lot more coming.
See? It's going to be even more. So for everybody out there, plants.
All right, well, coming up in the next few seconds, we're going to be introducing two of our guests. It's going to be our own Schenectady son, Jack, who is the general manager here, and we got Billy, he's more than a one-trick pony. He likes to grow things, but many of things. So that's all coming up in the next few seconds.
The Capital Brew Podcast with 20 North Dave and Nick Lee. What's brewing in the 518?
All right, Jack. Thank you so much for hopping on the show today.
Of course, thank you for having me. We're excited to have you guys and showcase what we have going on.
Perfect. So, can you tell us a little bit of the history behind the Troy Beer Garden?
It all came from, Matt Baumgartner is the owner, of course, so I can't really take any much.
So many of our listeners do know who that is.
Yes. He's also, I wouldn't say he's a Schenectady native, but he went to Union College.
Local legend.
Yes, exactly. But he's got some history in Schenectady, too. Not that this is...
We totally interrupted you.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it's great. No, he owns or has owned or is in the process of getting, liquidating the other beer gardens. And now we are on the American spelling Beer Garden, Troy Beer Garden. And we're focusing on beer. We're focusing on the garden. And, it's a great bar.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, obviously, there's so many plants. Of course, garden.
That does make very good sense. So why don't you, now we know obviously beer garden, most people know what we're going to be doing in terms of there's going to be a lot of good beer and there's a lot of good beer local, but the garden part, and I'm not trying to change subject or come off, but we might as well ask Billy, of
course, yeah.
It seems as if it's taking a new direction for a beer garden.
We did a 180 and then a 360 and then another 360 and then here we are.
But what's going on in here? Because obviously we have to describe it because nobody can really see it. And what we have here, it looks like bamboo.
Is it all real?
Some bamboo.
Everything's real. Everything here is the bigger plants that you're seeing are bamboo palms.
All right.
We got those out of Long Island, and then we have a large, the white Jack in the Pulpit palm, I call it. I'm not sure of the name of it. Then we have big philodendrons. Then we have fiddle-leaf figs. And then once the patio is done, we'll be putting a whole different selection. It'll be more deciduous, more native to the northeast plants on the outside edge and in the outside patio. I met Matt a year ago. He was looking for a gardener, and I showed him my garden. He showed me his, and now I'm a beer gardener.
That's awesome.
And I didn't even know that was a possibility in life, to be a beer gardener, but apparently you can.
So, obviously, everything's here is real. David, do you notice there's something missing from this particular bar?
Oh, is this going to be on the final?
There's one thing that stands out to me that's missing, that there's not a single one, unless I'm not seeing it.
What are you looking for?
Baseball season?
Yes.
So sometimes you'll go to the bar and watch the games. This place doesn't have a single TV. Is that by design?
I would say so.
It is. It is by design. We wanted to really separate ourselves from Wolf's Beer Garden. We want to create a new identity for ourselves, let everyone know who was coming here, will be coming here, that the expectations are a little bit different.
Yeah.
In that sports bar, Wolf's Beer Garden, go ahead. It's a great spot. Get a good beer. You know what you're getting there. Here, it's going to be more focused on great service and good conversation with our excellent bartenders.
No, that's awesome. That's really cool, though. I like that. I mean, it's refreshing because every bar you go into now, there's TVs everywhere.
Because they're cheap and their picture is excellent.
Yeah, but this really focuses it back on reconnecting A, with nature, and B, with people. I feel that's
one of the things that me and Matt talked about when I met, there's a nature deficit disorder, where people have separated them so much from nature that, like, he also owns June Farms, and people come there and they're freaked out to see a cat walking around free.
Yeah.
Like, little kids totally go bonkers over seeing a cat just walking across the driveway by itself with nobody, like, hovering over it. And this is a way for you to connect with nature on a, you don't want to go to a farm. You don't want to smell pig poo.
Yeah.
But, you want to have a cocktail, and, like, this gives you an environment. And also, all of these plants are cleaning the air.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Right? So everything is, the air in here is probably cleaner than out there on the street.
Yeah.
With all the cars and whatnot. So we're going for it.
This is a way of, like, combining both his farm and his beer business.
We're going to be selling flowers that we grow at the farm here. We'll be selling plants that we grow here at the farm here. We won't be 100% this year, but it's something we're working towards. And it's just I'm from Louisiana. I spent my 20s going between Provincetown and New Orleans and Austin, Texas, and I've never imagined a bar such as this. I don't know about yourselves if this is something that's a New York thing that I never picked up on, but, like,
the only other bar that I've seen to have is this, coming close to this many plants is 20 North Broadway.
Oh, really?
Well, yes, we use. Now, I'm not sure exactly what they are. They look like palm trees.
Okay.
But we have many of them out on the patio during the summer. And this year, we usually give them to a couple friends and they put them inside. This year, we had several that we kept in the bar room and used them as
dividers.
Yeah. Separating customers. And they don't really obviously separate anything. We just use them as a way to make sure people stayed
COVIDly appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. And and people really loved it. They loved seeing the plants in there. So I can actually say from a personal standpoint how interested and how unique and how cool people thought it was that we were using them in that manner, and just the fact that they were in there, providing with a little bit of green, that you don't have during the winter time around here. You see what it's like.
That.
You see what it's like, so that people appreciate a little bit of green in the winter. That's how that works. Now, are you guys also doing, like, you're doing plants for here? But I thought I heard somebody mention that you guys would you be using some of the plants you're growing as a type of menu item?
Yeah. Good point.
We don't have any things that we're growing menu per se. We'll have some herbs, basil, rosemary, stuff that we grow, but mushrooms are something that you find and you pick. We're hoping to grow mushrooms that we can grow inside in the basement here. It's a beautiful, and basements give you a 50 to 55 degree temperature with a nice humidity level that, you've got so many mushroom kits and that make it possible where you can actually do that. And then for me, the residue from growing the mushrooms is a mycelium-based fertilizer that I can mix into my garden beds, and it'll really juice my gardens up.
Wow.
So, it all goes back to making prettier flowers.
Yeah.
And being able to grow things for our menu in-house is really the dream.
Yeah.
And that's what Willy Wonka does. It's all self-sustaining. And
let's talk about the menu. Because it's not the same.
It's a bit different, and it's a bit different than what people would expect to see. It is going to be a plant-based menu, and that is going to be in a more welcoming way for those bacon eaters like myself, a vegan menu. And I was skeptical at first, I have to say, and then as we unveiled it, there were a couple elements. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that'll be tasty. I can't see that going poorly,
Yeah.
We just did a tasting last week, and I am so stoked.
100% on board.
Yeah. I'm considering now, and I think a lot of people are, maybe Monday through Friday, meatless week, and then celebrate with a little, responsibly grass-fed hanger or something, but something tasty. But
for sure,
man, we got it all. We're doing fried oyster mushroom calamari, which we got that. I'm a big fan of just Asian fusion or just Asian food in that sense. And we have a banh mi on the menu that I fully anticipate eating 3 a day for the next.
I have no idea what that is.
So a banh mi, for those who don't know, is a classic street food you'd find in either Vietnam or down in Louisiana, I'm sure. But it's French bread as the base because the French colonies in Vietnam.
Yep.
And then it's typically some sort of pork or pork pate or something like that. And then a whole lot of fresh vegetable elements. So we're talking pickled carrots, pickled radish, daikon, etc. The list goes on, but
cilantro.
It's the perfect combination of hot and fresh, cold items. And it's a snack. It's a treat.
So the one you sell here is going to be exactly that without
the pork. Pork.
So we're doing marinated in kind of like a barbecue sense. Tofu.
Yep.
Seared nice and crispy, so it has that crunch in addition to the French bread.
I believe it's a pineapple barbecue sauce.
It's a little tropical, but man, it's gone in 60 seconds featuring
it really
Nicolas
goes
Cage.
good with the IPAs.
Nice. That's another thing that's one of the things we love to do is pair beer with food. And on your menu, when it comes out, are you going to have suggestions of different beers that go with the different types of food?
Eventually, possibly. This is still a filling out process. We're just, the world is our oyster. We're
tofu.
Tofu as
The
well.
world is our oyster mushroom.
Our oyster
Yes,
mushroom.
I like that one.
And those we can grow like crazy.
Yeah. The world is our chicken of the woods.
Yeah, those are
hard
awesome.
to get.
Another fantastic mushroom.
The only reason I recognized it, as a matter of fact, we had an oak tree in our neighborhood, and I didn't know what it was, and I would notice
a beautiful mushroom.
I know, and I noticed it every year. It would come back, and every year it would be a little bigger, and I'm one year I finally realized what it was. I looked it up, and I'm like, listen, I said to my fiancée Jen, I'm like, listen, let's harvest it. And try it out. I've never had chicken in the woods before.
It really tastes like chicken. People.
It was fantastic. We just sautéed it in a little garlic and oil. That was really it. But let me tell you, by the time I realized what it was, after seeing it for several years come back, I'm gonna say it was larger than a dinner platter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was so big that I could barely fit it in my fridge. It was so much that, like, unfortunately, I didn't know what to do with it.
What
like,
you do,
three-quarters of it went to waste.
You do a chicken parm and freeze it.
Oh, that's what... Yeah, see?
You do a chicken parm, you freeze
I'm an
it,
idiot.
and then it's there for you. And it's shocking when you eat something that has the texture of chicken.
It absolutely does.
It
goes out of
is
the ground?
freakish.
Can confirm. We did that at another restaurant, Chicken of the Woods, and we gave it to our vegan bartender, the one and only, because at the time, nobody was, and if anything, you were the black sheep of the bunch. And she spit it out, thinking that we were
tricking her. Yeah,
it's chicken.
It's incredible.
It's amazing, and unfortunately, the tree fell.
Oh, no.
And they had to cut it all out, so my supply of Chicken of the Woods disappeared.
I showed you a picture of it. I know exactly where it is.
Flew the coop.
I mean,
yeah, and it comes back, like, so
yes,
it's as long as you know where it is, you can go back to that spot. It comes back every year. Unfortunately, it was a sign that the tree was dying. Usually that's what happens. Yes,
mushrooms are a process of life. They show up and do their thing. Without mushrooms, nothing.
Wouldn't break down. Yes. Yeah.
I believe Lion King has a song about the subject.
Yeah. Anyway, now, I love talking about mushrooms, all kinds of mushrooms, but I'll leave it at that.
All edible.
All edible. But what we came down here for, even though obviously the beauty of the new place, I tell you, like, it's gorgeous inside.
It is beautiful.
Is now that we're like, let's see what kind of beer we're going to be working with.
I feel like I'm in Tropic Thunder.
Right? Yeah, right. Yes.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, you people? Yeah.
Just my skills, man.
Oh my god, that movie was so fantastic. But let's say like, okay, I want to say, Jack, you said the two first beers that you dropped were like the ones that are always on.
They're going to be staples here. People like to come back and have beers they can rely on.
Is one of them so delicious that I actually just killed a whole pint of it before we even really started this podcast?
I don't think so. I think that was the lager.
It is. So that is one of our featured lines.
I'm sorry, yes.
So we are doing dedicated styles per line, all the way down to celebrate the full spectrum and diversity that the world of beer can provide. But that was out of Vermont, across the border.
That's right. Every beer we're drinking here today is from within the United States, obviously. Within the New York State.
Of New York?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you say? Because I've been dying to try this.
All right.
I think this one. Yep, the first one was the one that was one of the staples. One of the ones you were always going to have on.
Actually, I think that's the wrong one.
But he's on the 9-pin. That would be the one you're hitting right there.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. It doesn't even matter. But what what are we drinking here?
This here is brewed for us out of the Utica brewery known as Saranac. It is
Matt's Brewing,
out of Matt's Brewing. It is,
and it is not Matt Baumgartner's brewery.
No,
like for the first 6 months,
Brewing.
I thought I'm like, how do you have time to have a brewery? He's like, what do you mean?
Matt's Brewing.
Matt's Brewery, and I think to keep himself sane, he just uses his name and things that relate to him,
so he can remember.
So he can remember stuff. And he's like, no, I don't do that.
Union College grad from Utica, born in Utica, hence the confusion. But this is June Farms Pilsner. It's a nice, light, crisp beer. People who just want something cold and refreshing after a long day.
Yes.
You can have more than one.
Yes, it's probably an ABV around 4.2 or something like that, 4.3.
Very sessionable, and
it's excellent.
I would recommend at a minimum 3.
So you say this is their Pilsner? Are we looking at?
Yes.
It is indeed.
Right? Yes.
June Farms Pilsner.
Now, is it available? Because you say, obviously, it's coming out of Matt's. Is it made specifically for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Wink, yes.
Hey, obviously, I'm sure they'll do that.
Well, June Farms is obviously Matt's Baumgartner's other venture. Passion.
Oh, yeah.
Reason for living.
Yeah, if you want a good summer drink that you're just...
Oh, yeah. This is great for this time of the year. It's a great spring, summer beer.
Yes. If you're not worried about a lot of bite or a lot of heavy malty, or it's just a great,
something to drink while watching the NBA or
Not here, though.
Madness, or even...
Baseball.
Even...
actually, oddly enough, now that you don't have TVs, do you worry that the phone thing is going to be an issue? I know some places will actually say,
can't use your phone.
Can't use your phone, because it looks to me like that's kind of the type of thing that you guys are going for, like non-TV watching, you want to get people socially involved, having real conversations, not staring at the TV,
Exactly.
not staring at your phone.
But the customers are going to use the space as they see fit. We're going to be open during the day. People might come in here and use this as an office space. People might come in here and hide out from their boss for the afternoon. I would do that.
I've been doing that.
Your boss is here. How can you hide from
But
him?
it's a jungle. Do you see these bamboo plants?
I just wear my camouflage,
Disappear.
and he's like, "Where are you?"
I am definitely not standing in this bamboo.
We will be providing Wi-Fi to all of our guests that come in. However, I've been to bars that don't allow phone use, and we live in the 21st century.
It's a little weird.
Yeah, I need to be on my phone.
Well, I would say this. It's not that you would prohibit it, but you would be like,
Discourage it.
I'd say to yourself, hey, if you got to use your phone, we understand, but we try to make this a non-electronic.
But the problem is, phones aren't phones anymore.
No, they're everything.
Right? I have a visceral hatred for the iPhone computer gadget thing, but every morning the first thing I do as a gardener, farmer guy, I look at the weather. I got my weather app. I look at my weather. If I need to do calculations, this bench me and Jack built this winter when we were remodeling, I did my, what do you call it, calculator on a phone.
Yeah.
So it's not a
Measuring.
phone, it's a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
I know that you can get like a laser thing on your phone so you can
Measure distance through.
But I don't know how to, I haven't got that far yet. But I've seen people like, and get a little jealous.
Yeah. I measure TVs with it when I at a prior job.
We certainly will not.
We are slaves to those electronics. But, and I'm not saying that you would want to prohibit people, but, be like, hey, think of others, think of what you're really here for. You can sit on your couch and get on your phone or whatever. And, of course, you're right. It is a tool that sometimes you really do need on you.
The customer's going to dictate the space's use. As long as they don't cut or pour whiskey in my plants, beer's okay. Whiskey's too much alcohol.
So they get too drunk?
Yeah.
Exactly.
They get too drunk.
They'll fall over.
I'm sure people poured beers into our plants.
Oh, probably.
It had to have happened. I mean, maybe on purpose or by mistake.
I've seen worse happen at other bars. And
Yeah, I was going to say.
As long as, you're the
Body
expert, you
fluids.
said beer won't kill them.
Yeah.
See? Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start giving it beer nut from now on.
It can't be good for it. It may not hurt it. Can't be
It's
good
got
for
sugar and stuff in it,
Alcohol's a pretty clean product. That's the reason back in biblical times you would drink wine and stuff because the water wasn't palatable, but nothing harmful
I heard that,
to humans or living or harmful to humans can exist in alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
So you kind of extrapolate out to where I'm happy with how the plants look, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
We'll keep trust me, this will be an ongoing thing.
Yeah, if you have to hang them, you hang them.
Yeah.
Out of people's reach.
I don't think we'll be able to get the plants out of people's reach in here. When you come in here, you'll see.
Yeah.
They're
there.
Also, the type of clientele that are going to walk in here are not the people who are going to be putting bloody fluids in the.
You never know.
Well,
hey, man.
2:00 on a Saturday night in Troy, New York.
You never know.
Who knows what could happen?
True.
with some of our cocktails, who knows?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, the next one, which is also the staple.
It will be a featured beer forever. Is the
From
plan.
Chatham.
And is very much an inviting beer.
What is it?
Wonderful. It is from Chatham, down in Chatham, New York. About 40 minutes south, give or take if you drive slow, down the Northway. And it is a raspberry wheat ale.
I thought I smelled raspberry.
It is present, it is inviting, it is titillating, and it is delightful.
Almost tastes like apricots.
It's definitely raspberry.
It tastes raspberry.
It has been sitting here for about 15, 20 minutes now. That being said,
Well, so it's had a chance to breathe a little bit.
develop and introduce itself to the oxygen. At the same time, if there's a full beer sitting in front of me, it is going down
quick.
It reminds me a little bit of, if anybody has ever had Long Trails, they made a blackberry wheat.
Indeed. Great brewery, again, out of Vermont.
Yeah, Bridgewater Corners, I believe. I've actually been in that brewery several times. It's up by Killington.
Yeah.
And another staple, not to interrupt
And
you,
they,
Dave,
go ahead.
was, in terms of the whole raspberry beer spectrum, berry beer spectrum, another staple in the community is Abita down in Louisiana.
Yeah, I know Abita.
They're Purple Haze.
Purple Haze. And that's been around a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I would say a lot of these beers all have been developed fairly recently. I want to say when I first started working at another restaurant, and this was around 2000, it was already out. Yeah. I'm going to say that Purple Haze has been out for over 20 years.
I know in the 90s I went to the brewery and it was there.
Yeah, so I mean we're talking a long time.
That was a trip. Like the guy had a chain on the front door of an antebellum mansion. He's like, he was so happy somebody showed up. And he's got a chain with a master lock on it. Opens it up, and he has a full brewery in an antebellum, like a rundown antebellum mansion in Abita Springs, Louisiana. Yeah. And like it was, excellent. And this was like 20, 30 years ago. You have no idea if you're under 30, the limitation in beer. Like the lack of beer in the world. You had Coors, Miller Lite, Budweiser.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, there was literally that was it. It was either you were a Coors man or a Bud.
And then like one of the beers I really love is Shinerbach out of Texas. But that's because South Texas was settled by Germans, and they held on to their heritage.
We sold Shinerbach for a good long while. It has unfortunately now become less popular, and we've had to move on to other beers. But
there's such an array of beer now. We're really just now coming out of the laws that were put in place after Prohibition. They're just now opening up. Like there were 20,000 breweries before Prohibition.
Yeah. Yep.
After
went
Prohibition,
down to
there was 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And so everybody's got a story to tell. Every area is going to produce a hops or product that will flavor the beer in a way that you won't, or the water that you won't find in another area.
Yeah.
But beer is good.
Yeah. I've read that I want to say even now there's probably only like a couple thousand breweries as opposed to, like you said, there was one in every corner.
When I moved to Albany, I went to the Albany Museum.
Yeah, New York City Museum.
No, like down by the Old English Pub.
Okay,
they had a museum down there. They shipped 500,000 kegs of beer on the Erie Canal the first year it was open. 500,000 kegs of beer went down the Erie Canal to whoever was crazy enough to go out in those woods.
Yeah,
and that was shocking.
That is so much. I mean, that's why New York State's such a big populous state is because of that canal.
Well, also it's not bad living.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been here my whole life.
Upstate New York is one of the most beautiful spots on the face of the planet.
Absolutely,
without a doubt. So much to do here.
Absolutely.
Don't tell anybody that, people. There's too many people here already.
Don't worry, people are fleeing the state in droves. You don't have to worry.
So let's go real quick back to the mixed drinks that were. What can we expect as far as...
thoughtfully created cocktails, not pretentious in the sense that, we have those certainly available, for the average casual cocktail consumer. We have a number of very approachable, flavorful cocktails that will be available. And,
how about
what's an example of maybe something that you guys are going to do that's unique?
Featuring a couple different local spirits as well, specifically Albany Distilling.
That's what I was going to ask.
Right. So we have a Blueberry Cosmopolitan from those folks, featuring the ALB vodka. We have an Old Fashioned, which I'm very excited for. So we're doing a play on a bunch of traditional classic cocktails.
And making them your own.
Indeed. So specifically with the Old Fashioned, we are doing blackberries and peaches muddled with a peach bitter, and then throwing in some Albany Distilling bourbon, stirring that up, double straining it so you don't get the seediness from the blackberries, and it creates a very smooth Old Fashioned that is it's gone so quickly.
Now, you mentioned gin earlier. I'm a big fan of gin and bourbon. So what can we expect as far as gin brands?
So I'm a big gin girl myself, and we have this wonderful gin Violette. It's a spin on. It's a martini version of a very popular cocktail at June Farms, known as the Lavender Collins.
God!
Oh yes,
lavender goes so well with gin.
Yes, but it's hard to get after August.
Yeah.
And so this is the one drink on our menu that I am sad to say I'm not sure where the gin is produced or come from, but I want to say England, but it is an indigo gin, hence the purple color and also the violet nature of the drink itself.
Yeah.
Very much lending itself towards lavender and flower garnishes, which is going to be a heavy focus here.
Awesome.
And just, fresh, in your face, just pleasant to be around, too. Like each drink is going to be a bouquet in that sense.
Yeah. Now, Frog Alley's thinking about doing a gin, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I think I think that was one of the ones they were going to start with.
And, I mean, would you, at some point down the road, would you think you would go?
Certainly. I mean, I have no opposition to bringing in local brands. If it's tasty, we'll sell it.
All right.
In that instance, for that case, we have in my keg cooler right now an awesome sour beer from Brown's. Very excited to have that on. I've been stopping in every other Sunday, showing some love to those folks.
That's a really far walk from here, isn't it?
Yeah, I got to get your steps in. I really do stress exercise.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he makes lots of trips.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's
right. Yeah,
I can see Browns from right where I'm sitting.
Like I said, I have to hide from the boss every now and then. So it's like, oh yeah, I gotta run out to the store.
And they've got some great beer. They got the Joanne is a great IPA. I'm a big fan of the Pale Ale.
I believe Brown's is one of the 30 largest brewers in America.
Yeah, probably. They're probably microbrew.
No, they're like
really?
in the top 30.
Because we were talking to Frog Alley. Frog Alley, was it Brown's? They said there was only 2 breweries locally that
can have the capacity,
or if more than they have, and one was Single Cut, and the other was Brown's.
I think so. I mean,
or they count the 2 locations though too, because they got
they got one in Music as well.
Yeah,
I mean, they're in operation.
Yeah, for sure. And they're one of the firsts. Matter of fact,
they've been around a long time.
Rich started working, there. Now he runs the Frog Alley Brewery, but he also runs the Schenectady Brewing School.
SCC.
What did I say?
Yep. Whatever. You read it.
That's too many C's.
Yeah.
SCCCC.
I just call it the 13th grade.
All right, now. So speaking of beer, I crushed that raspberry wheat. You were right. That raspberry wheat was excellent, and I'm not usually a wheat or
it was not
wheat
over wheat
beer fan.
No, it was good.
I would say I liked it even better than the Long Trail.
Yeah,
which was very good.
It was pretty good. So we also got randomly somebody snuck us another beer.
Yeah, I saw that.
So we were discussing Shiner Bock, and I do have an affinity for brown ales and ambers, hence the Crossroads. And this is another great New York brewery, farm to table as I understand it, out of Hamilton. It is Good Nature.
This dark one we got brought over?
I figured we would do that after the Crossroads.
No problem.
To match the...
I smelled it. You sip it?
I didn't touch it.
How dare you?
Now, did you say Hamilton? Isn't that where out where Colgate?
Yeah.
Right?
Out there, central New York.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stony Brook. I'm just making things
Stony
up.
Brook's out in Long Island, I think. All right, so what are we moving on to beer? I don't want to jump the gun.
To the our hazy hoppy friend.
Ooh, let's do it.
Now we're getting into an IPA. Now, everybody's probably been on tenterhooks waiting for this.
You may have heard of this one before. You may have seen it at a bar or 2 or 7. It's originally down in Elizaville, brewed out of a farm. Stop me if you've heard this before, but
drum roll.
Juice Bomb.
Never heard of it.
Huge following. This is one of those cult.
Yes.
This is one of those ones I consider like a cult following beer.
No, it's a major religion, man.
Along with like Heady Topper.
Yeah, I was going to say Alchemist. Same thing, Alchemist.
Alchemist. I'd say these 2 beers are
Sip of Sunshine.
In that.
It's become an upstate staple.
Yes.
And I love this beer. Have a great love for them. Every Sunday, if I was ever driving downstate from our apartment, we'd make sure to stop in at the farm and drink some of their beers that weren't IPAs, although they do a fantastic job with them. However, this beer is on tap because I wanted to just have something for my staff and coworkers while we got open. I have not yet tapped any of the IPAs that I have cellared because I just didn't want them to spoil. We kept on pushing back the opening date. For that reason, I just wanted to give a great deal of respect for the beer.
It's been a lot of work we put into this place.
Oh, yeah.
It looks it.
It's been
from the outside to the inside. It's just been shocking, the transformation. And anyone that went to the Wolf's Beer Garden in Troy, New York, you're going to scratch your head.
This is the first time I ever stepped foot in here. I've been to a lot of beer gardens of Wolf's. I even went in
it looked
Syracuse.
it looked like a quintessential Wolf's Beer Garden. And
in that, you walk in and you see a lot of family-style picnic tables with some nice, good old-fashioned wooden benches. And
It couldn't look more different.
I think these people are going to try to get in here.
Just all over
we
the
get
bar.
that a lot. Well, we let them in, look around. Who knows?
Ordinarily, yeah. If we're in downtown Troy, we're happy to let you in, get a view of the place, even pour a beer for you.
Oh, really?
I did lock the door tonight,
Oh, did you?
just so it wouldn't be me having to give the spiel. So I wasn't sure if any of my new bartenders who are
We're ready for that.
enjoying the accoutrement that we've provided this evening.
I think this is a good beer for you to make sure that everybody knows you got, because of the fact that there is such a large contingent of people who will go out of their way to make sure they go to a bar that has Juice Bomb. I mean, I get asked it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's not something
Absolutely.
that we've gotten into, but I do have this beer requested often.
I don't think I got one.
Yeah, you did. You had to have.
It disappeared. It's just gone.
He slammed it. Don't everybody? Yeah.
Oh, ha!
But
Could have fooled
people
me. I
knowing
almost
that
jumped
people
up and
knowing
poured one.
people knowing this beer is on tap, and if it's on tap regular, you'll have a regular contingent just
That
for that.
being said, it will not be on tap regularly. It does fit into the overall focus of what I'm trying to do here in terms of the beer program. That's really where my quote-unquote specialty is and lies. I'm hoping to showcase and feature a lot of great local beers, or, like I said, if it's tasty, I'll bring it in. But of our 20 lines that we're featuring and honoring,
20 beers, folks.
20.
It is a lot.
It is, and my undertaking now is keeping that fresh, rotating.
How many are you going to
all the
rotate?
time. 18.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So,
That's a
yeah,
lot.
those are two of the mainstays, which
Yeah.
are the Crossroads and the
Chatham.
Chatham,
Out of Chatham.
New York.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't Crossroads. It was the June Farms from...
Yeah, the Pilsner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pilsner from Matt's Brewery.
I've had some beers
There we
before
go.
these
Matt's
guys.
Brewing Company.
What was I going to say?
They got to bring back the beer ball.
Well,
Yes.
In terms
You know
of
how they're bringing
the-
everything back? They got to
Yes,
bring back the beer ball.
They're
I
probably
saw
illegal.
a beer ball on like a cartoon. Man, I can't
What
remember.
cartoons
it.
are you watching?
I don't know. It was one of those late night cartoons that are for adults. It wasn't
like
like
Adult Swim.
it was on like Bugs Bunny.
No.
But there was a quick joke done,
shotguns on Bugs
and
Bunny.
they pulled a Matt's beer ball out of like something, and I was like, oh my god, that's a Matt's beer ball. And they said something. They moved on right away.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what. I wish I could remember what it was, but it made me think about it. I'm like, they should still make those. Everybody's talking today about nostalgic. Everybody wants old stuff from when we were kids. The toys, the cards, and
Yeah,
stuff like
Twister.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody loves Twister.
Everybody-
And lawn
yeah.
darts.
Lawn darts are illegal in New York State, and marijuana is legal.
Yes.
Think about
That's
that.
where we were. I knew there was some big
the
news we
big
had to
thing?
talk to.
I've been holding off on it. I figured you were going to say something.
I
I'm
actually-
sitting right here.
I have other stuff for you,
wondering,
too.
wondering if you were going to
We don't
say anything.
juggle
I didn't
lawn
want to
darts.
get too deep into that. Right,
No.
right away. I figured this isn't about This isn't about this podcast is about beer.
I'm trying to get the beautiful Jessica to open up a dispensary with me. Unfortunately, she works for the federal government, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's still illegal federally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a large basement space.
Yeah, I heard something about how stuff grows so great down there.
Yeah, something about temperature,
Mushrooms,
humidity.
particularly.
Yeah.
Well, we have grow lights in the bar.
Nice.
Oh,
I
that's
mean, because we have grow lights. We're putting more grow lights in. And speaking to pot, like one of the problems with trying to grow stuff indoors is no one does it. Like the only people that grow stuff indoors are pot growers,
yeah.
and they're like, "Well, why are you growing bamboo palms indoors?" I'm like, "I don't know. My boss wants it."
They look nice.
Yeah.
It looks
It does look good.
It does.
But, like,
Full
there's
size.
no
It's a
one
garden.
else. They're like, why would you do that? I'm like, well, that's where they go to make,
It's an indoor
they
garden.
work. It works.
Yeah.
The way it is,
Why is the sky blue?
exactly. But
Why don't I have more
There's
juice
actually a physics behind it. It's called this. Never mind.
Circling back to the lack thereof of Juice Bomb, I just want to address it. In terms of the rotating beers,
Yes.
there will be 5 IPAs featured.
At all times.
Yes.
Awesome.
And in the New England variety, I should say, there will be 2 at least. And to give a
Of
glimpse
the hazy,
classic.
unfiltered. Yeah.
not so much hoppy, bitter, punch in the face.
I'll say this: the juice that juice bomb was not super hoppy in your face.
No.
Which I kind of expected it, but you're right. It was like you say, it's more juicy. It's more juicy than it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that really sharp bite of hoppiness you get.
They've
I see why
definitely
people like it.
nailed
It's definitely
down
smoother.
Their
I can see why
consistency.
people like it.
For
without a
sure.
doubt. All right, move. What now? We got now we got the brown. Or no, this is a red ale. I want to say.
Are we doing the red ale? Or are we doing
Right?
Are we doing the?
We are doing the red ale.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we saving this one for the end?
I think that's our best for last.
Best for last.
Are we doing this one?
Nope, that's the 9-pin.
That was the number?
That's
Oh, it is.
that's cider, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
Which I've never
Sure
had.
is.
That cider. I've had other ciders.
Really?
Oh wow, that's very caramely.
Oh, you already drank some?
I'm
All right,
sorry.
Fine, you jumped the gun.
So this is Crossroads Brick Row Red Ale from a very
Right.
good friend of mine down in Athens, New York, Crossroads Brewery. Fantastic people, fantastic beer, and just always love to see him when he comes in. It brings a smile to my face, and so does the beer.
Where's Athens?
Athens
It
is
is.
out west.
It is. It's out by Rochester, isn't it?
It's just north of Sparta. But in terms of New
Is
York,
it anywhere near Greece? New York?
it is
Oh, yeah, Greece.
it is straight
That's
down
in
87
Rochester.
if you're coming from Albany. It is 45 minutes south of Albany.
Okay. All right. I had no idea. Is it near Cairo?
Yeah, probably.
Right? People would be
Nowhere's
like, what
near
the
Rome.
hell is Cairo?
Right near the
It's
Suez
Cairo,
Canal.
but
Right.
everybody down there they prefer Cairo.
Do they?
It's like Corinth.
Isn't there like a syrup called Caro syrup?
Yes,
Yes.
but it's spelled with a K.
Yeah.
And
it's
it's,
just like
it's
a-
corn syrup.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
like
not
ARO.
Well, it's corn. It's just corn syrup is all it is, right? I'm
Well,
pretty
no,
sure.
I make maple syrup at home, and like I'm picky on my syrups.
Yeah.
Well, Caro is corn syrup, like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, and it's crap
That's
syrup.
that's just that's the stuff you would use for
I don't even
cooking.
think it has maple flavor in it.
No.
No,
maple syrup is completely different.
It's a sweetener.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
like
bland
sugar.
sweetener
It's just
that you
sugar.
put and like for upstate. I fell in love with maple syrup when I moved up here.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's true. Yeah, right.
And it's like
It's awesome. Real maple syrup is it's fantastic.
what's even better is the sap. The sap when it comes out is like purified water.
Yeah.
And you can't touch it, and like it goes back to all of the ingredients and stuff that all these New York beers are coming out of New York. I mean, this is the agricultural heartland of the American colonies.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are
You know.
honoring maple syrup in another way too behind the bar. It's in one of our featured cocktails.
It's such a distinctive flavor. Like it's you can't it's right there.
It's the essence of the world.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and it ties in excellent with all kinds of whiskey, specifically bourbon and rye.
Yeah.
Just because
What's the name of that?
kind of mellows it down. So at the farm and upstairs at the Berlin bar, we have a very popular cocktail called the Maple Bacon Manhattan.
Well, it sounds awesome.
Down here at the plant-based bar, that doesn't fly. And so we had our very
Oh,
good
yeah.
friends from Green Island.
Why don't you get there? They make bacon that's
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, we
yeah.
found some,
yeah.
and I have some shirts available. But they,
Yeah, I know. I mean,
They make a, and Billy here would know more about the chemistry of the mushroom itself, but they make a bacon out of mushroom. And again, I was skeptical. I was like, okay, great, another one of these. Can't wait to try it. And I was asking for seconds and thirds.
Wow.
And so we are featuring maple syrup, local maple syrup, in our Maple Fakin Manhattan.
Awesome.
nice.
Fakin
Nice.
bacon.
Now, are you producing all the maple syrup for this?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Do you guys do it at the farm? Do you guys make maple syrup at the farm?
I make maple syrup in Albany.
Okay.
I
That's not-
tap trees in the,
So you're
the
getting-
Pine Hills neighborhood of Albany.
So you're getting a couple pints a
Totally
year.
illegal.
I've made 20 gallons of syrup in Albany, and I did not burn down the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that fact.
You didn't try making any swords?
Huh?
You didn't
Although
try
there
making
was
any
a
swords?
No,
fire.
did not make any swords. Huh? What?
He said there was
Perhaps,
a fire.
perhaps.
No, there
too
was
soon.
a fire. Yeah, there was a fire.
I feel like there's a story.
I had a fire in my home in January.
Okay.
So I didn't make maple
Like in a
syrup this year.
fireplace or just...
No, I had a fire. Like me and my
The house
wife
was on
bought
fire.
a 1907 four-square Craftsman in the Pine Hills neighborhood I was working on,
Yeah.
and it went up in smoke. And but the firefighters in Albany shut it down.
Yeah.
It's shocking how fast they were able to do it.
Wow.
But it's still from the smoke and water damage. We're back to square
rehabbing.
one. But so I didn't make maple syrup this year.
Okay.
But I still
I've made
have
mistakes
3
with
gallons
like
in
this
my
situation.
fridge.
From last year.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't drink maple syrup, but like, if you're making it,
Yeah.
it's one of my things.
Well, I actually did a post. We went to a small what do you call it? Sugar Shack in Clifton
Oh, yeah.
Park a couple weeks ago. Got some what is it? The Refresh IPA from Frog Alley, and I sat in the Sugar
Oh,
Shack all day with a buddy, And smoking cigars and boiling.
Oh
syrup.
no, sitting around a fire like my wife is like, "What are you doing?" Well, I gotta cook. I got all this sap. I gotta sit out here and cook it. And I would always do like half a gallon of maple syrup, a half a gallon of bourbon.
Yep.
And when I drank all that, I would stop drinking until I finished a maple run.
Yeah.
But like, coming from Louisiana, and discovering maple syrup, like it's just spectacular.
It's awesome, right?
You guys don't have maple trees?
Huh?
You guys don't have maple trees?
No, it's too warm
Too
down there.
hot down
They
there.
have oak down there.
Huh?
Oak.
Yeah, you
Oak's
can't
nice.
make no
No, you
maple
can't.
syrup out of oak.
No.
You can make. I think you can do it with birch though. Not maple syrup, but it's birch. syrup.
Birch gives you a wintergreen flavor, and that's what they use for wintergreen flavors and beech nut wintergreen gum.
Yeah.
It's from birch trees.
Okay.
So I like wintergreen, but
Doesn't go good on
I'm not
pancakes.
drinking wintergreen syrup.
Yeah.
Maple syrup,
I've been drinking the Rumpelmans.
Yeah.
not that much.
Or aftershock.
No, Aftershock was cinnamon.
Well, they also have the. Oh, was it?
No, the blue one. The red one and the blue one.
What's the blue one?
The blue one was like blue raspberry, I want to say.
No, it was like mint.
Negative.
Okay.
And, I
I'll
actually
believe
knew
the
somebody.
bartender.
I actually
Sugar,
knew somebody.
water, blue.
Yeah.
I knew somebody that actually, because there was like rock candy in the
Yeah,
bottle,
they
they
broke
broke
the
it
glass.
so that they could eat the rock candy.
Which is all full of glass now.
Which is now full of glass. Unbelievable. Do you know if you're eating rock candy or broken bottle?
We all knew that kid in high school.
Yeah, we did. I won't say his name.
And he was high school, right?
No, it was after that. 'Cause,
Oh, that's even worse.
Well, the problem is Aftershock didn't
HBCC?
Didn't exist when I was in high school. It didn't come out till I was after. I'm old.
Not that I
I
think it's Mike Purdy, but I was thinking about Mike Purdy the other day.
I just saw him today, as a matter of fact.
When are we going to have him on?
I don't know. I don't know if everybody's ready for that.
Oh, they got it.
But yeah, I just saw him today, as a matter of fact. He
We
was
got to
in my
have him on
house.
soon.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, if everybody wants to be entertained, that's it. Now, I have a question about this.
Okay.
This is the Crossroads, you said?
Correct.
The red ale?
Oh, did I?
You were right. It definitely had a very distinct, like, caramel
Yeah.
initial flavor
Very, malty.
in the Athens of America. Yes.
like
Very,
it.
like, malty,
Caramelly.
without a doubt.
Not
if you
roasty,
like, if you
but-
like a... Yeah, if you like a sort of brown ale.
Oh, we're switching. We're not.
Are
we're
we
not
skipping the... Are we skipping
I feel
the...
like 9-pin will be the piece de la resistance.
It will be the dessert because it's
Indeed.
so sweet.
It looks like it's very light.
It is a rather dry cider. However,
Yes,
it'll
good.
be, if anything, more tannic and palate cleansing.
True.
Just in case y'all wondering, I do love my job.
That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that.
Are we just making statements here? I'm like,
We love our job too.
my job's all right.
He just started a job where we show up to your place and just start drinking.
That's
Pretty good. You got a great thing figured out here. This week has been
Stressful?
Very. I mean, in a fun, productive way.
It's only Wednesday.
And we're smiling, we're dancing. Is it? I thought it was Monday.
For you, every day's Monday.
Every day is Monday.
Hey man, we'll come back here anytime you want. We'll throw up the
Yeah, if you
microphones
want me
and
to
we'll
come
drink.
over here and drink, great.
Yeah.
It's just.
Well, we have the Berlin.
Yeah.
We are so excited to open, and it's been again just day
we're
in,
ready.
day out. We're here.
10 days.
I get here at 8:00 in the morning, and I leave here at 9. And
9.5 days. That's it.
The end is nigh, is near. Right. All right, I'm drinking this right here. What do we got here? Was this the
I
Shiner? or
started
we were-
drinking it already.
it's the Shiner equivalent from Hamilton. It's the Good Nature Brown Ale.
Almost tastes like a
Nature
porter.
Brown Ale.
True.
Good, malty, dark beer.
Definitely malty. Dark
For the folks
roasty
coming
malt.
in here looking for,
Oh, wow.
I want an Oktoberfest, or I want this or that from the German selection. There are so many great American breweries making just fantastic beer that are either comparable or, a little bit better. And you're supporting local, small business.
Yeah.
And so these folks are great.
You got a little coffee in here.
Touch of roastiness that
Yep.
could be from the roasted malt.
Roasted malt, yep.
Next
It
time we
definitely
come,
has a little coffee.
Yeah.
You're right. He's probably, it's not coffee,
No.
but it has that coffee flavor. That
it's a
roasted-
darky roasted.
Hush
dark
of
roast.
bitter. It's a fantastic example of a brown ale and why I'm so excited to have it on tap.
But it's not biting. It's not like aggressive. It's just nice and rounded flavors.
You're right. It's almost like a porter.
Now, Billy, with you being from Louisiana, do you know what a power hour is?
Power hour?
Power hour.
I've never heard that term.
How about you? I know
I've
you're.
heard of like power hour for like church services. I mean, is that what we're
That's
going?
as south as
You know
it
what a
gets.
power hour is, right?
I think so, but
Yeah, you do. And you're also
Going to
from
school in Oneonta,
And
but
also
growing
we-
up
yeah.
in Schenectady. Oh man, yeah,
Power
I'm
hour.
familiar.
So basically, you get a tape that's 1 hour long, and you do 1 minute of a song. And every time a song changes, you got to do a shot.
Oh
Yes,
lord,
yes.
Next time we come, we'll
Yes.
do a power hour of just the different types of beers that you guys have.
Okay, somebody's gonna have to give me a ride. That's for sure.
is that something
God
out of
bless
ordinary?
Uber.
'Cause that's I've been doing
It
that
was
every
called the
day.
Century Club, wasn't it?
It's different, but yeah, power hour is what we used to call it.
No, because
college.
No, it's like
It's
100
connected.
shots in
High school.
100 minutes. Isn't that the?
No, well, it was 60 minutes, so 60
All
shots.
right, yeah.
Just about the most irresponsible way of doing things.
Yeah. Do you ever watch, what is it? Oh, man.
In a
You never
great,
take my
fantastic
freedom. What movie is that? Braveheart.
Braveheart.
You ever do Braveheart? Every time there's a battle scene, you got to chug a beer?
Nope.
All
Nope.
right.
I don't. I usually see the thing is I never needed
A game.
help
Yeah,
or excuses
I'm with
to
him.
drink.
Like you
Like
just,
I was like, yeah,
you drink.
You just drink.
We did too,
Exactly.
but I mean,
Like
I didn't
in
need- I didn't need
Louisiana,
somebody
when you
to
talk
tell me
about
to do it. I was
Louisiana, you
doing
have
it
Mardi
anyway.
Gras, you have hurricane parties.
oh, don't get me wrong. I lived
And-
in Texas. Like, I know how you guys party.
What part of Texas?
College Station, right up
Okay.
just north of Houston.
I'm sorry, you're Aggie.
No, I'm not. I'm from here, but I lived there for a little while. But
Okay.
yeah, I lived not too far from Kyle Stadium.
Yeah, but like, no, it's. I fell into a good spot here.
Yeah. No, well, don't get me. Like I said, like down in the South, they know how to party.
Oh, dude.
It's
I've
a
been-
good
I've
time.
been
There's
to
not
Mardi
as
Gras.
many
It was nuts.
rules.
Yeah.
I mean, Louisiana, we have drive-through daiquiri shops.
Yeah,
where
but
you
you
drive
don't want
up
to
and
mess
get
up
a daiquiri.
down in the South either, like Texas, Louisiana. You don't want the cops knocking on your door. But you're right.
Usually they don't. That's his point.
But you're right. You have drive-through, like you said, like liquor stores and
Yeah, drive up, get a daiquiri, and drive off.
yeah,
Which
Yeah,
is
it's
a
like going to
beautiful
Dunkin' Donuts, getting one of those culottes that has booze in it,
yeah, exactly.
right? Maybe Dunkin' Donuts will start putting vodka in my
They should.
culotta. They better if they charge me $6 for a fucking slush puppy.
thing. All March long, they advertise the Irish cream coffee. You know.
Who's the
They're
TikTok
definitely
star
toying
that
with
named
it.
it? They named a culotta after like a TikTok star, some 15-year-old girl.
Please don't ask me if I know a TikTok star.
That's true.
man.
You don't even know what a TikTok.
Dude, please. I know
He's
what
like,
it
I
is,
haven't
sadly,
played
but-
TikTok since I was like 6.
What?
Nothing.
Tic-tac-toe is what you're talking. Yeah, okay. All right, gotcha. I
We're
figured it
not
out.
talking about tic-tac-toe?
Now we are. Now we finally got there, yeah. We
Okay.
roundabouted it. Right.
Love you, Billy.
See, what we got to do is we got to take him down. He'll love it. A crawfish festival.
I've been to Mardi Gras.
Have you been to crawfish
You been
festival?
to Mardi Gras?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was fucking crazy.
The most knowing laugh.
Oh, dude, it was fucking crazy.
Oh,
my
man.
God. Dude, it put anything else I've ever done to shame. It put all 3 spring breaks together
Yeah.
to shame.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but like, I grew up in Louisiana. I thought every big city was like New Orleans.
Mm.
And like, me and my cousin, I got a cousin named Boner. I got 2 cousins nicknamed
I'm sorry,
Boner.
what is his name?
2
Boner.
cousins nicknamed Boner?
But one, this is the cool Boner.
Wow.
Okay.
And he was
Wow.
living in
That's a
New
lot of
York
boners.
City.
Wow.
And we're at a bar in New York City, and I've spent my 20s bartending in New Orleans and Provincetown, Austin, Texas. And we spent over $800 drinking at this woman's bar. I mean, I had $800 on me, and I was broke. And
spend
she
it.
told us we had to leave, and like I was tipping her heavy,
Yeah.
trying to get a good shot.
Yeah.
I just wanted a good shot, a good pour once.
Yeah.
And so we took the bar stools we were sitting on when she told us we were closing up. We're the last 2 there, and she went to the back, and I'm like, I took my bar stools, and I told Boner, like, come on, we're
Yeah, let's
taking
go.
it. And $800 in, even in New York City.
Yeah.
He's like, sure, sounds like a good idea. but like Mardi Gras, like when I met my wife, I was living on top of a 24-hour strip club 2 blocks off Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think they have that in New York City. No. Like with windows that are open.
No.
Like no curtains like this.
Definitely not.
Like literally the windows are open and
Nope.
you know. So
It's not like 6th Street.
no, it's not 6th Street in Austin. But Austin's a good correlation to New Orleans in that it's a cleaned up version. But the thing that makes New Orleans what it is the architecture and the old school.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is
got a flavor.
Troy, New York is the richest town in America in 1820.
Yeah.
So the architecture and the details. And when people come over the Green Island Bridge, the first thing they see is Troy Beer Garden.
Yeah.
And with our new paint scheme and our new, God bless Jack, our
sign.
new Jack put it up there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It pops as soon as you come over that bridge right there. That the suicide. What do you call this?
Green Island Bridge.
Green Island Bridge. Once you come
Kevin
over-
Mall, he's a local singer-songwriter, wrote a song about the Green Island Bridge when it collapsed in the 80s.
Isn't like the book Ilium or something like that written after that?
Possibly, I don't know.
But, Troy, New
for
York
greater
is a
minds than
really
mine.
unique historical town.
Yeah.
And, I mean, in this building, I don't know how long it's been here, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
I
mean,
believe they
we've
were
got
actually making the
beams.
first collar here.
And
That's
we are
$7
like
off.
6 beers in, folks, so, we're going to talk about UFOs next.
You know what I do want to talk about, if we're going to go back to beer real quick, is that Hellas. That Van Trapp Palace that I had was phenomenal. That was really, really good.
It was a wonderful beer. It is a wonderful beer, rather. It's going to be one and done for us until, I got 3 kegs lined up after it. The next one is...
What did you run out before you even opened?
That's a me problem.
That's a me problem.
And it's a legitimate issue.
It's a distinct possibility, is what you're saying.
Oh, for sure.
I see.
But I am going down there every single day, testing and weighing the kegs, and I think
Are
we'll be
you?
all right.
Really?
Yeah, I sure am.
I wish you had told me that sooner.
Damn, I'm super sporadic today. But
Surprise.
Billy, what brings you to New York?
Like I told you, I married a Yankee.
So she's from here?
Schoharie County.
Did she say that? I missed that.
No, he didn't. I had no
Okay.
idea either.
Oh, I thought that's where I met her, on top of the 24-hour strip club. That's where I met her.
Oh,
We
okay.
assumed the strip club was down in...
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
a
you-
tourist trinket.
Wait, that she was working down there?
No, she was visiting. No,
all right, got it.
Her sister lived across the hallway from me. It was
Okay,
like
all right.
the first floor was
All
a
right.
strip club, and then there were 5 floors of apartments. And her sister lived across the hallway from me.
Okay.
And, well, I've been married over 20 years now, so something must have clicked.
Yeah, it worked out.
But she's German Italian, and
Okay.
we don't have Italians in the part of Louisiana I'm
Yeah,
from, and Italians like to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Holy
Are
moly!
you kidding? You've probably been to
Like-
an Italian dinner now.
Oh yeah, but
It's no joke.
Like, do y'all remember the first time you ate roasted garlic?
No.
I don't remember it.
I do. It was a roasted garlic sub I made.
Yeah.
I was working in Cape Cod.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay,
So
you
you
were
guys
talking about that Provincetown. I kept meaning to ask you. You keep saying Provincetown. I'm like,
when were you out
is he
that
talking
way?
about on Massachusetts? Out in
yeah,
Cape Cod? Okay.
that's where I spent my summers.
All right. I got you.
But we're here now.
You got an awesome history. You got a very colorful history. Like, just the flavors that you're, like, the places that you're
Well,
talking about.
but-
From Austin.
But look at where we're at,
I know.
dude.
True.
Dude,
True.
I got a guy that showed up on my doorstep and said, I got a 120-acre farm I want to put a beautiful garden on.
As somebody who I can assume has been to Stubbs before.
No, I've not been to Stubbs.
Are you serious? You said you spent so much time in Austin.
I lived there, but that's 30 years
Stubbs,
ago.
the barbecue place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to ask what you thought about Dinosaur Barbecue.
Oh, it's good barbecue. But
It's not Stubbs.
No, but I mean, it does snow a lot here.
Yes. Yes, it does. A lot, sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you lived here?
20, I moved here.
So you got some good
23
yeah.
years ago.
You guys
Been
are
here
good
a long
stores.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I ain't saying it. But I've lived here a long time.
Yeah, nice.
But no, and this is one of the most amazing bars I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And if y'all come here, and y'all should come here.
Oh,
Check it out.
I live right down the street.
Okay.
I do. I live 5 minutes away. My girlfriend just left and went home.
So have you been to the Troy Library?
I have not. I'm from Schenectady.
Okay. Well, the library in Troy has one of the biggest collections of Tiffany glass in the
Okay,
world.
do they really?
Yeah.
How do you know all this stuff?
I live here.
I know. So do I.
and
I
I'm
don't
not
know
as
this.
big a drunk as some people at this table.
They're like me.
Jack?
Wow, pointing fingers.
Damn. I'm sorry for the fire joke earlier. You really came back on me.
Payback.
All right, we know Billy's history. What about your history? We know you're from Schenectady.
I am indeed
I can
from
assume that you're
Schenectady.
significantly younger than both Dave and I.
I'm getting there, though.
Catching up every day.
These last couple of weeks, it's been escalating exponentially.
So-
A little bit about me.
Yeah.
I'm a Schenectady native, tried and true.
Graduated from Schenectady High?
I sure did. People
right.
are surprised to hear that.
RBG? I'm not going to...
Linton.
There you go, yeah.
A little throwback reference to some of the listeners here.
So you're a Patriot that used to be Blue Devils.
Indeed. Yeah, no, I have a great love for Schenectady. It's where my family is. My family is from. I have generations of folks there, but I had to get out, and I moved on to Albany.
Yep.
And I've been bartending at XYZ places, featuring beer. And
How'd you meet up with Matt?
I left my one longtime bar after being a bartender there for 5+ years. I showed up at the Berlin doorstep with a hat in hand, and he gave me an opportunity, and we've just been running since. We get along quite well. He's a very intense person who knows what he wants in a restaurant, and I'm just reflecting back on it.
Tell you about Jack.
I do a bad job about it. I don't like talking about myself.
Matt's crew of folks he surrounded himself with.
Yeah.
We could drop them off in New Orleans, Austin, Miami.
They're going to succeed.
Oh,
It's
no,
so
they're
funny.
going to crush it.
Yeah.
They're
It's
going
so
to crush
funny.
it. And the thing with Matt, his aesthetics, his whole experience. When I started working at June Farms, my wife and 2 old guys showed up at June Farms. I didn't want her to talk to me, be seen with me, and the treatment they got was head and shoulders above any other place we went to regularly in Albany.
Yeah.
And he has created a unique environment, a unique set of people that work there, and Jack's a friggin' stallion.
Yeah.
And the whole crew is, but they're young. I'm not young.
Yeah.
A lot of us. It's very funny how it all happened. It stemmed from the Schenectady Beer Garden, and one person got in, and then the next person did. But we're all coming from the Schenectady wrestling team. And the scrub that I am, I wouldn't even call myself a wrestler, but
You look
these
good
guys,
in a singlet.
Thank you, Billy. Beer gut and all. But the folks that we have, I've never seen such a work ethic on such a large crew, and it keeps on expanding. And I'm blessed to be part of it, and I'm happy to have been brought on. And I'm near tears every time I reflect back on it. But
Congratulations, man.
It's going to be
No, you're our leader. Sucker.
in so many words. Yeah,
Fearless leader.
Well, I have plenty of fears.
Well, you're a young guy.
Not with this
public
beer.
speaking.
No, well, you're doing a great job today.
Well, I'm doing something.
So now we're getting into the last beer. I've already... Excuse me.
Clear your throat.
I'm sorry. I've already drank half of it, and I'm not usually a drinker of cider.
Then I will start. Am I the only
But
one?
I do see why people ask about 9-pin, because it's very light and very, well, you said dry.
It's dry in that they ferment it with champagne yeast, as opposed
It
to
definitely
just...
has that champagne dryness.
So when it's poured and drank directly off the tap, as opposed to sitting here for about an hour or so, it has this great bubbliness to it, and it's wonderful. At another bar that I used to work at, we didn't have any sort of wine, and so folks would still come in for Mother's Day and be like, "Oh, can we get mimosas?" No, but I can add a touch of orange juice to this and see how it goes. And it created.
Did it work out?
Oh, it was wonderful. And they're like, "Well, we'll try it," and they left after clearing half a keg out.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely see the resemblance to a champagne.
It's definitely the champagne of apple juices.
Oh, it's
Apple
wonderful.
ciders.
9-Pin Cidery, which is
No,
down
I can see why people really
I live in
are
Geneva, New York.
on the lake.
Right down 87 as well.
Wait, you said Geneva.
I want to say Geneva. I could be
Geneva's
wrong.
out
Is that
west. Out, yep.
That's on,
Starts with a
that's
G
on the
somewhere.
Seneca Lake.
Yeah, it's on the north end.
Then I'm
Ooh,
incorrect
is that where
in
is that
saying
where I
that.
went last summer?
Did you go to Seneca Lake?
Where did I go? We talked about this.
I don't remember, though. I'm sorry.
It's
He
very.
doesn't remember
it's
either,
like-
I mean, it's
apparently.
not my job. No.
It's like one of the deepest lakes in New York State. It's a very
it's either
big.
Cayuga or Seneca.
So it's gotta
I'm
be
assuming.
Seneca, I think,
You
yeah.
know, Seneca's the one.
Sure,
that has
yeah. You had a good
Watkins
time in
Glen at the
Seneca.
one end and
Is that
Hobart at
Oswego?
the other.
Oswego.
Oswego's on Lake Ontario.
I'm like, no, okay, never mind. No, what's the Oneida Lake?
Oneida Lake. No,
Oneida
it's
Lake.
actually the opposite. Oneida Lake's only
Yeah, it's
and
really.
most places very shallow. It's only like 30 feet deep.
But I guess like the deepest part. I think that's where I was. Is Oneida.
Oneida is very shallow.
Out by Syracuse.
Yes.
Yes. All right, that's where I was. But I heard like at one point it's like one of the deepest, but it's also for the longest time it's very shallow.
It's very shallow. It's a very, very shallow lake.
For like the longest time, it's like it's one of the biggest lakes in New York. Well,
I think
it's
you
a big
actually
lake.
it's part of the canal. You actually you have to cross it.
Yeah, the
if you're on the
southwest
canal.
corner up to. Yeah. Anyway, it's you can like for the longest time it's like only 4 feet deep.
Yeah, it's very shallow. It's like I think want to say because my father had a boat that was a large boat on the canal, and I want to say he told me that Oneida Lake like never really gets any deeper than 30 feet.
Maybe.
But once again, I'm
I
not
know.
the authority on Oneida Lake.
I'm not the authority on anything.
Yeah,
than the fact that I'm
apparently
out
not
of
the
drinks.
authority on where you were at
Where,
last
yeah,
year.
you know.
What do I know?
So
We're
where were
in
you?
Troy right now.
Seneca
Yes.
Lake?
I'm not. Yes. No, I was at Oneida Lake.
I'm just messing with you. It's not deep.
It's whatever.
I'm done slamming this 9-pin.
By the way, Kevin McClurkin says hello.
Where's that from?
Well, he's starting a new podcast.
Is it a rival?
No, it's not going to be around. Not even close. It is a Giants podcast.
Are we like Coca-Cola? He's Pepsi.
No, it's a New York Giants podcast that he's starting.
The Giants.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good.
That's tough.
Yeah. So he asked me what
We're
kind
rebuilding.
of yes.
That's tough.
See, he's a Giants fan.
Once again, I'll say that's tough.
You know, my new job has a facility in Pittsburgh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when are we going?
Hopefully soon. Well, they
What
don't
would
have
be in the
hotels.
fall?
Yeah. Hopefully they don't have any hotels at this next. I'm not saying
Lame.
that my
You
place
can go
has
to the Andy
hotels.
Warhol Museum.
There we go.
Yeah, just see Campbell soup cans.
See, he's a Steeler fan. Oh yeah, because they're Steelers. The Steelers can't. So I get it. Do you know that Steve-O is he's like the I don't know. He's an heir to the Campbell family.
Steve-O,
The guy
like
that
from
staples
Jackass.
his
Yep.
nuts to his thigh?
Yeah, that guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, when you get that kind of money, why would you be doing
His
stunts
dad's
like
like
that?
the CEO of Campbell's.
He's got issues.
You got to set yourself apart somehow.
No, dude, you don't
Apple
staple
can't fire
that.
too far.
No, I totally agree.
No.
Some things are off limits.
So I think we covered everything we need to cover.
We did it.
I'd say so.
Yep,
Yeah,
we did
don't
some
staple
beers.
yourself, kids.
We did
Yeah.
some beers. We talked about mushrooms.
Yes, we talked about weed.
Oysters.
Well, we only did a brief. You know, I don't want to take a political stand on what I think about that.
We mentioned wow.
It's called The Mandalorian.
No,
I
yeah,
still
it's
haven't seen
Mandalorian.
it.
Come on,
I
man.
still haven't seen that last episode.
Baby Yoda, son.
It's not Yoda though.
That's
I
a
know.
Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm nerding out now.
Yeah.
All right.
But we talked about
Apologize.
the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin McClurkin,
Yep.
and his new podcast that's coming up that I've been helping him get up and running.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anything else? What do you guys? Anything you want our listeners to know about you guys?
The opening date for us is going to
Yes.
be April 23rd.
Oh, I thought it was the 17th.
It was.
Well, we
And
fixed that.
There have been delays
There's no patio yet.
because of the patio issue. Just weather wasn't cooperating early enough. We had to deal with some more permits.
And we're painting the whole building.
Painting the whole building. It's going to be an entirely new space. But yeah, that does take time, and we forget how quickly time can roll up on us. And so for that, there have been some delays unforeseen. But
Yeah.
you can expect to see us April 23rd. Open doors, open arms. But if you're ever in downtown Troy, please, please, please stop in. We are here all day, all night for the most part. And we are happy to give you a little sample and a little tour. And we just love having you guys walk in so we can give you a little personal tour.
Awesome. I had something to say. I don't remember what it was.
I just want to say thanks for having us. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you
Nice
so
to meet
much.
you guys.
Thank you.
Excellent beers. A beautiful place. I'm psyched for you guys.
All right.
I wish I could compare it to what I saw. I never saw it before. I wish I could compare it.
Just go to the Schenectady Beer Garden.
It's
There
the
was
same
peanuts.
thing.
There was peanuts on the floor.
Really? Okay. Well,
Yes.
all right. I got it. I think I can imagine.
There was like somewhere where you can take a photo with your head in this like couple, this German couple thing.
You mean like the guy with the lederhosen and like
Yeah,
the?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The full
I never
nine.
knew that. All right.
All right. Well, the only
And
thing
we have American measurements. We have pints and quarts
Yeah.
and ounces and not liters.
yeah.
And
I'm not gonna lie. I did like the
the
big beer glasses.
Yeah, but the liter thing.
Yeah.
Customers expecting to still have a good old big glass of beer.
Can I get a picture?
We can do growlers.
All right. There we go.
You
Can I walk
they
around with a
last
growler?
little bit longer. Sure can. Has a handle and everything.
All right. So the only last thing I want to say is Happy Beer Day.
Happy Beer Day.
One of my beer reps earlier today, they sent me that, and I said, listen, I'm a devout follower. I celebrate every day.
Yeah, every day's Beer Day when you're on the
Sure
Capital
is.
Brew podcast. All right, guys, we're out.